Disney has managed to shit out yet another fucking mess of a TV show. This time it's called Tales of the Jedi. This is the 4th Star Wars show that they have made, and just like the others, it's a fucking boring, pointless waste of time that makes the Force more retarded each time they use it. It also retcons what little continuity Star Wars has, because Chief Dickhead Dave Filoni wants to make Ahsoka the new Luke Skywalker, which is why she is becoming fucking unbearable to watch, as she is getting shoved into every single event that has happened in Star Wars. This show follows Ahsoka and Count Dooku before he turns all goth, and nothing happens in this entire show. All it does is try and fail to tie up some loose ends that didn't need to be tied up. Other than that, we really have some clunky and stupid action scenes that are pointless and are just there to pad out the runtime. It's not worth wasting the 15 minutes an episode it takes to watch. Anything else is better than this shit, and it also confirms that Star Wars is a dead franchise. All Disney is doing at this point is raping the corpse that was once Star Wars.
That's just sad.
Now let's waste more time and energy on this show than the fucking idiots did making it. Episode 1 starts off with Ahsoka being born into yet another random tribe of not Native Americans. Why is everything in Star Wars an allegory right now? Probably because the writers have no imagination outside of Twitter. Time passes and Ahsoka's father is staying at home whilst her mother takes her out to the woods to hunt.
What?
You may have noticed a few problems. Her father, who hasn't given birth, is stuck at home like a pathetic loser whilst his wife goes out to hunt. She is not only hunting, she has also taken their baby daughter out into the wilderness.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
What the fuck is wrong with you people? These two are the shittest parents I have seen since Madeleine McCann. Why the fuck would you endanger your daughter by taking her out to hunt? She's a fucking baby. So the world's shittest mother takes her into the woods and she shoots a deer. The noise that musket would make would blow out Ahsoka's eardrums, but it's not like her mother gives a shit about her health anyway. So after killing the deer, her plan is to somehow drag it and her baby back to the village.
But why would any woman want to do that?
This is the problem with woke writing. They try so hard to make women into men that they make them do retarded things that a man would never do. Hunters would never be so stupid as to take their babies into the wilderness because they would die. This is all just a massive cope because the writers don't like the fact that men hunt and the women look after the children.
It's science.
As this is happening, a saber-toothed tiger spots the pair of them and sneaks up behind her. For no fucking reason, it doesn't just bite off the mum's head, but in fact waits for her to spot it and then turn round. And all it does is have a staring contest with her. Just fucking eat her already. Why are you just pausing for dramatic effect? You're a hungry animal, just kill the galaxy's worst mother. What we have next is embarrassing, as the tiger seems to have no depth perception, because as you can see, it can't aim for shit and it just tosses the mum around instead of ripping out her throat like any other predator would. So Ahsoka's mum only now remembers that her gun can shoot lasers. God, the writing in this show is terrible. These shots go on to alert the villagers, who are surprised that a lone woman and her baby out in the wild are in trouble.
Why is everyone so fucking stupid?
The villagers then show up to save the day because they must have only been a few meters away from the village for them to arrive so quickly. Before running away, the tiger grabs Ahsoka by her shirt and doesn't hurt her at all with those enormous teeth. The tiger then takes her back to his lair. Why does he do this instead of just biting off her head?
Good question.
The tiger is about to eat her, but this fucking baby pulls out some bullshit force powers right out of her asshole to just control the tiger.
Bullshit.
Does anyone remember when you had to train in the Force to be able to use it?
A long time.
We cut to the villagers who have waited till nightfall, hours after the tiger had taken Ahsoka, to now start to look for her. Why have you waited so long, you stupid cunts? So Ahsoka, who can't even speak English, has somehow managed to master the Force and use it to tame a tiger. And not only that, somehow has the strength to hold onto a tiger for hours as it navigates the wilderness, looking for her home.
Well, that's just silly. Silly, yes. Idiotic, yes.
And how does the tiger or Ahsoka know where she lives anyway?
That doesn't make sense.
Ahsoka is Jedi.
You're wrong.
Being a Jedi means being part of the Jedi Order, you dumb bitch. What you really mean is that she is Force sensitive and should train to become a Jedi, which is completely fucking pointless because she's already a master at the Force from the age of 1. God, I really hate what Star Wars has become. And that's the end of episode 1. It was a shit attempt to steal some of the popularity from the walking merchandise that is Grogu. All we learned this episode is that Ahsoka is a Mary Sue since she was a year old, and the Jedi are completely right to take away some of these kids from their negligent parents.
I'm a bad father.
Let's move on to episode 2. It starts off with Dooku and Qui-Gon heading towards a planet. Once they land, we see that it is yet another backwater shithole because all Star Wars planets are the same. So the Jedi are there because the locals have kidnapped the Senator's son and he wants him back. They are to resolve the conflict as peacefully as possible. Remember that, because that is not what these retards do. So what is the Jedi's plan to find the Senator's son?
Where is the child?
Anybody know of any terrorist attacks coming up soon?
Somehow this retarded plan works and they meet one of the kidnappers, who agrees to show the Jedi where the victim is, despite them being asked by the Senator to find his son. Wow, everyone is awfully trustful in this village. So they go to where they are keeping the Senator's son, who for some reason is fine with being kidnapped and tied up in a shitty mouldy shed because he gets to see how poor these people are. It's annoying how fucking holier than thou this prick is.
Could I just get an empty glass?
As this is happening, the Senator and his men arrive outside the barn, and we see that the Senator found this place the same way as the Jedi did, by asking some random fucking nobody in the village. So why has the Senator and leader of this planet only brought 20 men with him? Why not 100? And also a couple of tanks and even planes as well? Well, that would make too much sense, and the shootout would be over in an instant. So the Jedi try to mediate tensions between the two groups. How do they do this? By completely siding with the kidnappers.
I demand his release. Your son is in no immediate danger.
Then why don't you show him he's fine, you fucking idiot?
Do you have any proof of age?
You have my word.
So because Dooku won't show the man that his son is alive, a fight breaks out. They open fire on each other, and somehow this shitty old barn protects the people inside from being hit by burning hot plasma. I mean, look at all of those holes in the barn. Nobody inside should be alive.
But the people are retarded.
So after a really bad firefight, where once again we see that everyone in Star Wars is blind, the Senator decides to cease fire and he gives a villain speech.
I will destroy this town.
Why does he do this? Because somebody probably pointed out that all he was doing is trying to rescue his son, so we need him to say something evil so the Jedi and the villagers are the good guys.
Are you sure about that?
Dooku then chokes the Senator and does some of the laziest blocking I have seen. Qui-Gon then runs inside and releases the Senator's son, which is exactly what they should have done in the first place, and not have all of these people die.
You fucking idiot!
So the fighting stops and the Senator's son makes a bunch of empty promises about helping them, which he has no power to carry out, and they leave.
Your actions saved many lives today.
That was your job, you fucking moron!
You're supposed to be the fucking master, you dumb fuck. Why is Qui-Gon the only person who isn't a complete retard? If Qui-Gon is smart, he will never listen to this dumb cunt ever again. The pair of them walk off like they did a good job. Why the fuck do you look so pleased? People died because you wouldn't back down, you prideful cunt.
You really are one of the most disgusting humans I've ever met.
And that's the end of episode 2. Let me sum up episode 2. Dooku, the villagers, and the Senator are all fucking idiots that needlessly kill each other. That's it. Fuck all else happens, and this is a waste of time. Episode 3 starts off with Dooku and Mace Windu.
I'm sorry. What?
Now this timeline makes no sense, as they are trying to tell us that Mace Windu is the same age as Count Dooku in Revenge of the Sith.
Bullshit.
They just want another cameo in this shit show. So their mission is to pick up the body of a Jedi Master who was ambushed and killed, but Dooku wants to investigate what happened to her. When they land on the planet, Dooku questions the Senator, who was the only person with her when it happened. The Senator does not want Dooku to investigate the ambush site, but his obviously evil white guards offer to take him there.
Why?
When they arrive at the ambush site, Dooku points out the obvious flaws that anyone who isn't blind and retarded could point out.
If Master Ketri were fired upon here, why are there no blast marks on your ship? No damage?
So it turns out that the guards are evil and they are ambushed by droids. Now what exactly was their plan? Was it to just kill the Jedi? Well, that would just bring even more attention to them. Or was it that they genuinely believed that this would fool them and the droids were just there in case it didn't? Well, that was never going to work because these fucking morons didn't put any effort into covering up the crime scene. And it's not like they even needed to do this, because when Dooku asked to see the ambush site, they could have just said, no, it's a crime scene, you're not allowed. Job done.
You are stupid.
All of this is pointless. They then interrogate the last man and he explains that they did all of this because fuck the rich.
Jedi claim peace, but mostly keep law and order for the rich.
This guy sounds like he just graduated from a liberal arts college.
We must take radical action against the fascists in our own country.
They then take the Jedi back to bury her, and Mace Windu is given the rank of Master for some fucking reason, and that's the end of the episode.
I'm so fucking bored!
We are 3 episodes in, and each one of them has been as shit as the last one, with characters acting like retards, or this show constantly breaking canon with each episode.
I expect nothing. And I'm still let down.
Episode 4 takes place in the middle of the Phantom Menace, just after Qui-Gon has fought Darth Maul and returned to the Jedi Temple. We get a pointless cameo from Liam Neeson, like anyone gives a fuck anymore, and then a time skip to after a Phantom Menace where Qui-Gon is dead and Dooku is feeling sad. Female Yoda is concerned about Dooku, who just takes off on a ship and she follows him, which is a completely normal thing to do, and after a while they head to a deserted part of Coruscant. I thought that Coruscant was supposed to be so packed with people that they had to go underground to make space, but now it turns out that most of it has just been abandoned.
Bollocks.
Dooku doesn't notice that he is being followed by the only other ship in the sky and meets up with Palpatine in person.
A simple phone call might have sufficed.
Female Yoda has listened to the entire conversation, and what does she do? Does she contact the Jedi Council? No, she instead has the bright idea to let them know that she has been there the whole time, like the dumb bitch that she is. Female Yoda then tries to convince Dooku to stop being evil.
Whatever your crimes are, help me now.
That was your plan to stop them? That's fucking stupid!
The pair of them fight, and despite having many opportunities to escape, she instead lets Dooku slam a door on her.
Oh no! Anyway, last week...
Unfortunately, we get a cringe girl power moment that is utterly meaningless, as Dooku kills female Yoda and the episode ends. Fuck me, that was shit. Is episode 5 any better? No! It starts off with Ahsoka.
Fuck off.
Training in a Jedi temple, and she's already amazing. But writers don't like the fact that some people call her a Mary Sue. So we get a shit training montage of her doing the same test again, but for some reason she's failing this time. All to just create artificial struggle.
I don't give a fuck.
She then passes the test.
Nobody cares!
And the last shot of this episode is her in the future, but who gives a fuck? And that's the end of the episode. Ahsoka does some training and that's it. I'm not joking that these episodes are completely pointless and each one contains more filler than the last.
We're wasting time!
Episode 6 takes place at the end of Revenge of the Sith at Padme's funeral, and the writers need to shove Ahsoka in this because Dave Filoni wants her to be in everything because he is a vain, self-indulgent dickhead. So Ahsoka meets up with Bail Organa and he gives her a communicator. She then fucks off to yet another backwater shithole in the middle of nowhere because Disney has absolutely no imagination at all. So in this shithole, the robots stack too much hay on a trolley and it falls over. Why do they do this? Because the show needs a contrived reason for Ahsoka to use her powers.
Nobody cares!
So one of the villagers snitches on Ahsoka for absolutely no reason other than the writing in this show is shit. So when Ahsoka comes back from selling hay, an Inquisitor shows up where we have yet another dogshit fight scene.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
This girl power scene is embarrassing as fuck. It does not make her look good, it makes him look incompetent. So after that shit fight scene, Ahsoka calls Bail Organa and that's the end of the whole show. This whole show is dumb, boring and pointless. It's nothing but filler and is only just there to retcon existing lore and because Dave Filoni is a wanker. Do not watch this show, it's boring as fuck.
It's shit.